You are listening to Minor Metrics. I'm your host, Chris Mellon. This show is powered by a script written by LockFox at Eve Prosper. This content is aimed at players participating in the mining profession and is provided nightly to give you, dear listener, the information you need to sell your product at the right price. Starting with Tritanium, on the yearly graph we can see the capital mining crash and nerf recovery. Zooming in, the price has come out of its stall out and is reaching up to 4.8. I think we've moved past any crash that might have happened and have continued on to a higher price. Luckily, if you were holding out for a longer game, you've been rewarded early. It's a good move to sell Tritanium now, although our price could rise higher. Pyrite is showing the capital mining crash, and we are returning to a stall. Zooming in, we can see a stall out at 5.5. In the long run, I think this price has further to rise, and I would hold out and wait for a higher price. Moving on to Mexilon, we can see the amazing summit we're on. Zooming in, however, we can see the crash I've been warning about is here in earnest. The plunge has broken through the recent upward volatility, and it's time to keep an eye on the market for some upward movement to recoup a few percentage points in losses. With ISAGEN, we're seeing the exact same graph as Pyrite, and it's for all the same reasons. Zooming in, we can see our price has pulled out of a decline. Selling ISAGEN isn't a terrible idea, but only if you need to liquidate. Holding out for a better price will probably be a better move in the long run. Moving through to NOXIAN, we see a similar pattern to Tritanium earlier, but with a price hike up to a much better relative price point. Zooming in, we can see a huge amount of upward volatility. This is the new peak price range for this market, and I believe selling before the drop is a wise choice. This will contract quickly. ZYDRATE's yearly graph is looking alien, with large movements in the early year followed by a recent plummet in price. Zooming in, we can see the rapid decline we've experienced and the bounce back from that movement. Despite this rebound, we're still in a stall out. It's time to hold on to ZYDRATE and wait for an acceptable price. For the last of our regular minerals, we have Megasite. Much like ZYDRATE, Megasite has had large movements in the early year, but is only just now experiencing its drop. If ZYDRATE is any indication, this price has further to fall. Unfortunately, this movement is so rapid I have to advocate holding your Megasite until after the drop. Finally, however, we have an upward trend right before recording. I recommend pushing the button and saving yourself from future losses in Megasite immediately. Lastly, Morphite's yearly graph looks incredibly stable, but zooming in we can see we've been experiencing a long fall in price with some recent volatility. We've grown from that volatility all the way to 11,000, so this is a great trading price. I recommend selling any and all Morphite you have. This is the best price for the near future. This has been Chris Mellon for Minor Metrics. That'll do it for the show. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to check tomorrow for another episode.